What is up, y'all? Chris from Mungie Fishing. Thought I'd do a review on my kayak that I've been using. Went and bought me sorry, I've been sick so I can't think straight. It's a Lifetime Yukon 11 foot 6 inch kayak. It's really nice. I love it. Runs great, smooth on the water. I need it more for me because I'm 5'10", 220 pounds. I'm a big boy. So I did have a Pelican 10 footer. That thing was a joke, man. Couldn't do nothing on it. Scared to even breathe. I was worried I was going to flip all the time. But I get on this one. I can stand on it. Now I can't move too much because, like I said, I'm a big boy. So standing on it, if I try to move too much, I just got a lot of gear on there, so I'm always worried I'm going to flip it. I probably could move quite a bit. I just haven't really messed with it that much to understand what I can or can't handle. I sound real congested because I'm fighting a sinus infection right now, so please forgive me. But yeah, so go through a bit of a rundown with you. You can see how I got this all set up here. Come around. Let you see what's going on here. So I guess we'll start back here at the back. This is my bag. Obviously got all my fishing stuff in there. Don't really get into it unless I break a line or if I want to change lures for bass fishing. I mainly do catfishing, so this is kind of a catfish setup. But there's days whenever I don't go catfishing, I'll leave the other bags at home. Got my crate set up in here, and all I did was bungee it down with the existing bungee. I put the bungee over the rod holders that I zip tied to the crate, and then over here the two that cross, I just put them over the corners. Got some lures in here for bass fishing mainly. That's all that's in there. This is my heavy duty catfishing rod. This is my bait rod, which I don't use very often, which is why it's in the middle. This is my bass rod. Got it set up for gar right now. Then I got my two catfish poles over here on the side. I installed these anchor holders, whatever they're called. I think they're great where they're at. There's ways I do rig it from time to time so that my kayak can shift from side to side. My anchor, let me grab that real quick. Forgot to put it back on there. So it's a 45-foot rope anchor, and right here on the side of the seat where I have this bungee is usually where I have it, right there, and I'll have that bungee wrapped around it, holding it in place. And then the clip that comes with it right here, I'll clip it either here on the handle, or I'll clip it back here on the back, depending on where I'm at. And if I want to grab it on the front, then I'll clip it somewhere over here, like on my loop up here, so it'll hold up towards the front. I haven't gotten a trolley. I know everybody can say get an anchor trolley system. I'm going to. I just don't have the money right now because I've been investing in some other stuffs. But I'll leave the seat in the high position. That's what's most comfortable to me. I have back issues, so I can't lounge as much. I went and bought this, what is that, Stearns Life Preserver, LPV, I think is what they're called. This is a CO2 one, so if I flip, yank that CO2, it'll bust open. A lot of people always say, you know, there's these bungees, but nobody knows what they're for. Well, what this works good for me is I open this up when I'm ready to paddle. You know, if I'm bass fishing, I actually set my bass rod right in here, right up against the seat like that. And then this right here just wraps around. And then there's my bass pole right there while I'm paddling out of the way, not messing with anything, and it's not going to go anywhere. And then I just unsnap it whenever I'm ready to go. That's what I use that for. Put that back. I know a lot of you in my kayak groups have these kinds of kayaks, so you know what a majority of this stuff is, but I'm going over it for people who don't. You have these right here to adjust where you want your pedals. You can push them that way. They're really easy to move. It tells you like how many inches it is from something or other. I guess from the end right here, I don't freaking know. But you got 2 rails to put your Scotty mounts. I got me a Scotty camera adapter right here. I use the Ghost XL Drift as my camera. I actually have 2 of them. The other one I wear on my hat, and they kind of link with each other. So when they're linked together, as soon as I hit record on one, they both start recording simultaneously. But I usually let them record because they'll record for 9 hours straight, no problems, don't overheat, nothing like that. Whereas my GoPro constantly had heating issues, would shut down because it got too hot. Then this is the strap, of course, that comes with it to help you stand up. You got your measuring marks right there, so you can measure how big your fish is, which the catfish I catch are usually bigger, so I can't even tell. You got your dry storage here. My dry storage, I have also a dry bag in there with some random stuff. And then this is my battery box for my fish finder. And it's still trying to cure right now because I just drilled a hole in the back of it and put the cables in there. But as you can see, that's where my battery goes in there. And I just got those sanding sponges in there right now until I can get me some other sponges to go in there. Now these do have a GoPro mount right here at the front, and what I want to do is get another boom stick, but a vertical one. Put me another Ghost camera right in front of me so you can see these 2 poles that I have pointed side to side here. I think that'd be a pretty good view for everybody to see my expression as the fish bite. Now this is my original mount that I put for my fish finder, which is the Lowrance Hook 2 4X, I believe. It's a good little fish finder. It doesn't do bad. A lot of people want to know how I wired it. Well, I did it through hole. Any of you know what a glow rod is? Basically, it's a fishing pole. It's a fiberglass rod is what it is, about the length of a fishing pole. And back here at the back, there's my transducer. So I drilled the hole back there, tied the transducer end, which is this right here, to the end of my glow rod. And I taped it to it, and I just pulled it all the way through right here on the side, avoiding all the foam. And then I came up here and drilled me a hole right down in here, pulled the power cable through there, left the power adapters down there, and they're in the battery box. So that's what I do when it's here. When I want it over here, it's not that big of a deal. I left slack on here, so I just pull this up. I run the cords through the rail here and then up and plug it in, and it works just fine. But this is my original mount that I use right here. It adjusts any way I want it to, so I can twist this, move it out of the way if I need to real quick, and then it'll lock in place. Loosen it up. You can move it up or down, however you want to do it. I like it mainly in this position. I can see it better than when it's back there, over in this area, but still works just as good back there. I'm starting to get old, getting blind, can't see it as well. Over here, same thing. You got your bungee I use it for rods. I don't know what you use it for. This other bungee that I have back here by the seat, I actually have my 50-pound fishing line strewn through it, so when I need a leader, I just grab there. I also got right here, I got a lanyard that I take off of there, and then I got my pliers and my fish grippers, which are cheap ones. Don't need anything expensive. And then when I'm done with them, I come back and just attach them over here. I'm making a YouTube video, Maddie. Attached to my chair, I have a rag, wipe my hands off, and then another anchor thing over here. And for the most part, guys, it works great. I would recommend this kayak for a beginner kayak to anybody. Another thing I do need to tell new people kayaking that I just recently learned is on your anchor. I know a lot of you people watching this learned this, and I just learned this probably about 2 weeks ago. I learned it the hard way though. So I've got a 3.5 pound claw anchor. So I threw this sucker out in the lake, and the lake that I fished at had a rock bottom. and this sucker got snagged. I could not budge. Like, I thought I was gonna flip the kayak from pulling so hard. It was rocking. I had to call a guy over with a pontoon, and he hooked it to his boat, and his boat started swinging around the anchor spot because the anchor wouldn't come out. So he just kept tugging. Finally it came out. Well, I learned that now you tie on the bottom where that loop is on the bottom of the claw, and you put a zip tie on the top side. So what happens is when this claw is hooked, you pull this zip tie hard enough, it breaks, and then eventually it'll start pulling from the top. Pull the claws up, and then your anchor will come right out, no problem. So make sure you guys do that if you're getting into kayaking. Paddle, I'm gonna need a new one. This is just a cheap one that I bought. I do plan on getting a better one. This one works fine for me, but like I said, I do want a better one. Somebody told me don't go cheap on paddles, get you about $100 one. If any of you guys have any advice on how to pick a good paddle, please leave it in the comments, let me know. But yeah, this is my layout, guys. My Yukon, my Lifetime Yukon kayak, my daughter. Oh, and my new chain. I didn't show y'all this. So this here is my new, instead of having a, what are those things called that hold fish? Gosh, stringer. Instead of having a regular old stringer, I had like a 20-foot, 25-foot stringer, and I couldn't do nothing with it. Well, I never catch that many fish to keep them, so I don't, you know, this, I saw this, I got it. It's long enough, perfect for me. It'll work great. So, excuse me. Anyway, guys, if you guys want more information on my rod setups, where I'm fishing, what kind of fish I'm fishing for, as in catfish, you know, you can go through my YouTube channel. I am new at this, so don't rag on me too hard. But yeah, you guys have a great one. Go check out my YouTube channel, Mungie Fishing.